Imagine waking up one morning and noticing that your blanket floats above your bed like a lazy cloud while your feet drift upward before touching the floor, and your brain suddenly whispers with excitement and confusion mixed together that gravity has taken the day off. Without gravity holding everything down, your room would turn into a slow-motion playground where pencils hover like thinking sticks, backpacks spin gently in the air, and your body moves as if the world became an underwater dream without the water. This strange day invites a big philosophical question because gravity is not just a force in science books, but a quiet rule that shapes how we move, learn balance, and understand where we belong. When gravity disappears, walking becomes floating, jumping becomes flying, and even sitting still turns into an adventure that requires planning, patience, and a surprising amount of teamwork. Philosophers love moments like this because when normal rules vanish, hidden questions suddenly appear, waving their arms and shouting for attention. Without gravity, up and down lose their usual meaning, which makes your brain work harder to figure out direction, purpose, and control. You might try pushing gently off a wall, only to drift across the room, realizing that tiny choices now create long journeys. This teaches an important idea because even small actions can have big consequences when the rules change. Gravity usually gives us limits, and those limits help us feel safe, steady, and confident as we move through the world. When limits disappear, freedom feels exciting but also a little scary, like being handed a map with no edges. A day without gravity would remind you how much your body secretly knows because muscles, balance, and instincts are trained every day to work with gravity as a trusted partner. When that partner steps away, your body must learn new rules on the spot. Philosophers ask whether freedom means having no limits or understanding limits so well that you can move wisely within them. Floating freely might feel fun at first, but eventually you would miss the ground that helps you rest, run, and dance without drifting away. Gravity also keeps everyone connected to the same surface, sharing space and direction. Without it, people might bump into each other more often, learning quickly that cooperation matters more when control is harder. This turns a silly floating day into a lesson about community, patience, and shared responsibility. Even simple tasks like eating breakfast would feel different, as cereal pieces drift like tiny astronauts, and every movement must be slow and thoughtful. That shows how invisible forces quietly shape daily life. Gravity is rarely noticed, but it works constantly, proving that powerful things do not need to be loud. Philosophy often asks us to notice what we ignore, and a gravity-free day would make the invisible suddenly obvious. You might realize that effort feels different when there is no weight because lifting no longer challenges strength in the same way. This leads to questions about growth because struggle often builds skill, patience, and confidence. If everything were effortless, would learning still feel rewarding? Gravity helps give effort meaning because pushing against it slowly makes you stronger. Without gravity, strength would need a new definition. The day would also change how you see Earth because gravity ties oceans to land, air to sky, and people to home. Floating away from the ground might make you feel tiny, reminding you that belonging matters as much as freedom. Philosophers might say gravity is like rules in life, because rules can feel annoying until they disappear and chaos sneaks in. Rules create structure, and structure creates opportunity. Even games need rules to be fun, fair, and exciting. A gravity-free day would turn life into a strange game with brand new rules everyone must learn together. This shared confusion could bring people closer because laughing, learning, and adapting together builds connection. Kids might enjoy the playfulness first, while adults worrying about safety, showing how perspective changes with responsibility. Both reactions are useful because fun and caution balance each other. Philosophy lives in that balance. As the day continues, floating might become tiring because constant focus would be needed just to stay in one place. This would reveal how rest often depends on gravity holding you still. When gravity returns, the ground would feel comforting instead of boring. That feeling teaches gratitude because we often appreciate things most after they are gone. Gravity might seem ordinary, but it quietly supports every step, hug, and high five. A day without it would feel magical, confusing, exhausting, and eye-opening all at once. By imagining the impossible, philosophy helps us understand the everyday. And when you finally lie back on the ground, feeling its steady pull, you might smile and think that even the most ordinary forces help make life meaningful.